It's 7 p.m. The kids are finally in bed. The kitchen looks like a disaster zone, and you and your partner haven't spoken a full sentence to each other in hours that wasn't about logistics. He walks in and asks a simple, neutral question. Did you remember to take out the recycling? And suddenly, it's not about the recycling. A tidal wave of frustration, exhaustion, and resentment that has been building all day, maybe even all week, washes over you. You snap. The words are sharp, loud, and full of a rage that feels way too big for this situation. And you see him physically recoil. His face shuts down and he walks away. The silence that follows is heavier and more painful than the argument itself. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe when he asks, you feel nothing. A deep, foggy exhaustion. You just stare past him, unable to form a response, feeling a profound sense of disconnect, like there's a wall of glass between you. If you have ever found yourself in one of those moments asking, why do I fly off the handle over such small things? Or why do I completely shut down when my partner is upset? You are in the right place. Please hear me when I say this. This is not a character flaw. It's not a sign that you're a bad partner or a bad parent. It's a human biological response happening deep inside your body. So today we're going to pull back the curtain on that response. We'll give it a name, understand the brain science behind it, and most importantly, I'll give you a concrete step-by-step plan to get back in control. Are you a parent who finds yourself either exploding with anger or completely shut down, especially with the people you love most? In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a framework that will change how you see these moments forever. You'll be able to recognize when you're leaving your window of tolerance and use a specific strategy to come back to center so you can respond to your partner and kids with love and intention you truly feel. My name is Catherine O'Brien, and I'm a couples therapist in Sacramento, California. I specialize in helping parenting couples navigate the intense seasons of life after kids. This is the stuff we live and breathe in my office, and I'm so glad we get to talk about it today. I want to tell you about a couple I'll call Sarah and Mark. When they first came to see me, their chief complaint was communication. Sarah said Mark was defensive and would stonewall her. Mark said Sarah was always angry and would escalate everything. They were both keeping a mental scorecard of each other's failures, and they both felt completely justified. They both felt like the other person was the problem. But as we dug in deeper, we found a different story. Sarah was juggling a demanding job and the invisible, never-ending mental load of the household. She was living in a state of chronic stress, and her nervous system was primed for threat. So when Mark would come home and ask about recycling, instead of seeing the mountain of laundry or the empty fridge, her brain didn't register it as just a question. She registered it as a threat to her sanity, her capacity, her feeling of being unseen and unsupported. So she would fly off the handle, and Mark, on the other hand, who grew up in a home where conflict was loud, chaotic, and scary, when Sarah's voice got loud and her energy got sharp, his nervous system's lifelong safety strategy was to freeze and shut down. He wasn't trying to punish her by walking away. He was trying to survive an internal alarm bell that was screaming, danger, shut down. She escalates to be heard, and he withdraws to feel safe. And she feels abandoned and enraged, and he feels attacked and overwhelmed. Do you see that cycle? This wasn't a communication problem at its core. It was a dysregulation problem. Both of them were being knocked out of their window of tolerance. So let's look at what's actually happening in your body. The key to understanding this reactivity lies in your nervous system, and specifically a massive cranial nerve called the vagus nerve. Think of the vagus nerve as the superhighway of communication between your brain and your body. It's constantly sending signals up to your brain about whether you're safe or in danger. and it plays a central role in how we regulate stress and connection. One influential framework clinicians use to understand these shifts is called the polyvagal theory. It was developed by Dr. Stephen Porges. The polyvagal theory is one influential framework clinicians use to understand the nervous system regulation. While some of its evolutionary details are debated in academic research, the broader science of autonomic stress responses is very well established. Through this lens, we can understand 3 common states your body moves through under stress. First, there's a state we all want to be in. This is your window of tolerance. In physiological terms, this is called the ventral vagal state. When your ventral vagal system is online, you feel safe, connected, and present. You can listen to your partner, have empathy for your child, solve problems, and be playful. Your vagus nerve is essentially telling your brain everything is okay. Your vagus nerve is essentially telling your brain everything is okay, you're safe. This is where you can respond with intention. It's your social engagement system. But when stress gets too high, a toddler's tantrum, a bad report from school, fight over finances, your body perceives a threat and we get pushed out of this window. The second, the fight or flight state, or sympathetic arousal. If you're someone who flies off the handle like Sarah, you're being pushed up into a state of hyper arousal. This is driven by your sympathetic nervous system. Your body is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart races, your muscles tense up, and your brain shifts into pure survival mode. The more complex, thoughtful part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, goes offline. You literally cannot access logic or empathy easily here. All you can do is react to fight by yelling, criticizing, blaming, or to flee by storming out of the room, needing to escape. This is that feeling of being hijacked by your anger. You are not a bad person. Your body is in a state of alarm. Number 3, the freeze or shutdown state, dorsal vagal. Now, if you're someone who shuts down like Mark, you're being pushed down into a state of hypoarousal, where the threat feels too big to fight or flee. In polyvagal theory, this shutdown response is described as a dorsal vagal state, a protective immobilization response. This feels like numbness, emptiness, or complete exhaustion. You might dissociate, scroll on your phone to check out, or feel like there's a wall of glass between you and your family. It's not that you don't care, it's that your system has slammed on the emergency brake to conserve energy and survive the perceived threat. You're disconnected. The key aha moment here is that these are not character flaws. They are predictable physiological responses. The goal isn't to never leave the window. That's impossible, especially as a parent. The goal is to first recognize when you left it, and second, to learn how to guide yourself back to that ventral vagal state of safety and connection. And that is a skill you can absolutely learn. Okay, so how do we get back in that state? Or I like to call it the river. It's a 3-step process. Step 1, recognize your cues. You have to become a detective of your own body. Before you snap or shut down, your body sends out early warning signs. For hyperarousal, the fight or flight, maybe it's a clenched jaw, tight shoulders, a feeling of heat rising in your chest, or your thoughts start to race in circles. For hypoarousal, the shutdown, it might be feeling foggy or your vision getting a little blurry, just an overwhelming urge to scroll your phone or feeling heavy and slow, like you're moving through water. Your only job this week is to notice what are your specific cues. Step 2, name it to tame it. This is where we challenge that story. I'm just a reactive person. That's a story about your identity. What's actually happening is a temporary physiological state. Instead of saying, I'm so angry, try saying, I'm noticing my body is moving into fight or flight. Or instead of, I'm broken, try, my system is going into shutdown. This creates a tiny, powerful bit of space between you and the reaction. You are not the storm, you are the one noticing the storm. And this is a game changer. Step 3, use a pattern interrupt. Now that you've noticed and named it, you need a strategy to gently guide your nervous system back to safety. The key is that the strategy has to match the state. If you're in a hyperarousal, the red zone, you need to discharge that intense energy and ground yourself. Don't try to talk it out yet. Stress significantly reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain that's responsible for reasoning and impulse control. So try the physiological sigh. It's 2 sharp inhales through the nose, followed by 1 long, slow exhale through the mouth. And do it 3 times. This is a well-researched biological off-ramp for stress. You can use temperature, hold an ice cube, splash cold water on your face. Cold water stimulation can activate a reflexive parasympathetic response, helping you to slow your heart rate and calm the system. Ground yourself. Press your feet firmly into the floor. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear. This helps pull you out of your spinning thoughts and into the present moment. If you're in a hypoarousal, the blue zone, you need gentle activation to come back online. Engage your senses. Eat something with a strong flavor, like a lemon or dark chocolate, maybe even peppermint. Listen to upbeat music, maybe a song from high school that makes you want to move. Gentle movement, like slowly stretching your arms overhead, roll your neck, or go outside for 2 minutes without your phone and feel the air on your skin. Push against the wall. This helps re-engage your muscles and helps your brain reconnect with your body. The goal is not to force yourself back to happy, it's to gently guide yourself back into the river, back to that ventral bliss that you can clearly connect. And this brings us back to Sarah and Mark and that powerful exception. My partner is the one with the problem. As you now see, our nervous systems talk to each other. Your hyperarousal can be the very thing that triggers your partner's hypoarousal, and their shutdown can trigger your feeling of abandonment, which fuels your anger. It's a painful dance. When you can both start to see this not as a you versus me, but as a us versus this pattern we have, everything can change. You can start to say things like, hey, I see you're heading into shutdown, or I'm going to take a few breaths. I'm right here when you're ready. Or I'm feeling that red zone anger rising. I need 5 minutes to cool down, and then I promise I can come back and we can talk. It transforms you from adversaries into teammates, trying to help each other stay in the river together. So my invitation to you today is this. Just start noticing your cues, notice your partner's cues, and practice one small strategy to come back to your center. This is how you stop the cycle and begin to respond with intention, not just reactive. You're not broken, you're human, and your nervous system is just trying its best to keep you safe in the chaos of modern parenthood. Now, learning to regulate yourself is the critical first step, but the next step is figuring out how to use that new capacity to actually rebuild the connection with your partner, especially when you feel distant and exhausted from the years of being in these cycles. So how do you find your way back to each other? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the next video. How to reconnect with your partner after kids when you feel distant and exhausted. We'll dive into the specific reasons this shift happens and the practical tools that actually help couples feel close again. So be sure to click here and watch that next. If this was helpful for you today, please give this video a like and share it with another parent who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more guidance on creating a relationship that thrives even after baby. It was so good to be with you today.